Hello everyone. The next chapter will be on the next section of chapter 3, which is instrumentation 3.4. Okay, right. Should be in the instrumentation? Instrumentation is the course of action, process of developing, testing, and using the device, if applicable for your research. However, in our research this semester, you are doing questionnaire. So the instrumentation means that you have to outline the details of the inventory, the questionnaire that you will be using. If you realize, I always ask you to put the author's name of the questionnaire that you are going to use for the collecting the dependent variables of your study. So it's very important for you to know what's the name of your instrumentation. Okay, listing out is very important, because if you do not know what's the content of your questionnaire, what are its subdomains. For example, in a leadership scale of sports, they have 5 types of leadership scale. So from that 5 types, it relates to the hypothesis and your objective. Okay, instrumentation will be the way you are collecting your data, the instrument tools that you're going to use for your study. Okay, so we directly go to the questionnaire. You have to describe the items in the inventory or the question in detail. Okay, for example, what's the scoring, how to score, tambah ke tolak ke, and then the scale used, are they using Likert scale 1 until 10 ataupun 1 until 5 or 1 until 7. If you're familiar in answering questionnaire, they will have the most popular type will be Likert 1 hingga 5. Contohnya 1 is strongly disagree to 5 is strongly disagree. Okay, and then look at the detail of the questionnaires. They will provide you how to categorize the total score. Contoh, for the example, the total score of that question will be 70. So what does 70 indicates? Minimum 20, maximum 70. Yeah, for example. So if the higher the score, higher the feeling towards that's the dependent variables that you're going to measure. Also mention the reliability, the alpha value. Okay, this requires you to search in the journal ataupun in the literature available on the internet. What's the alpha value, because it relates to the reliability or the internal consistency of the questionnaire. Mention the author's name and the name of the questionnaire. Most of it will have its own name. My example will be perception exercise. That's the name of the questionnaire. And some of you are using sport imagery questionnaire, ethics burnout questionnaire, ABQ, and then LSS leadership. And then some of you do not have name, but the author's name available indicates letak nama author tu, and then the R value ataupun alpha value of it. Okay, outline all the items. Okay, item 1 until 5 represents the subdomains of social network. Contoh 6 until 10 depression. This outlines indicating of this questionnaire is very important, because you need to write all the details. Berapa items dia. Contoh ada item, maksudnya jumlah soalan tau. Dia ada 40 soalan. 40 soalan tu it represents 5 subdomains. Okay, so you have to write in the writing what does the subdomains represents. Okay, kalau dia berturutan macam ni seronok lah. Ada journal juga dia letak item 1, 3, 5 ialah relates to A, 4, 6, 7 relates to something else. Dia arrange the sequence of the items is to berkecamuk lah. Tujuan dia untuk to ensure that the respondents, orang yang menjawab tu, they not really dia tidak buat sekati lah, dia betul-betul baca macam tu. Okay, what is reliability? I'm sure some of you came across to these terms. It refers to the consistency of a test. Okay, in a survey ataupun in the experimental, we need to ensure that the instrument yang kita guna untuk measure the dependent variables tu is going to be consistent. Okay, sebagai contoh, if weighing scale we always urge the students to use a valid and reliable machine, so that when they are weighing themselves, every time they weighing themselves 3 kali ke 4 kali ke 4 trials in a day, it will measure similar, tak ada beza. Contohnya sekilo, lepas tu timbang lagi 6 kilo naik, macam tu. And the machine tu rosak lah. The same goes to instrument of survey. Okay, every time you are giving the questionnaire to the respondents, seorang respondent, he or she will answer the same. In regards to external disturbance and lain lah. Consistency means if it is measure burnout, it will measure burnout, not going to measure everything else. Contohnya burnout relates to depressed, no, not going to measure depressed, going to measure burnout. So that's the way we see how reliable is that instrument. Okay, you can read on your own what is reliability in your own, for your own understanding lah. Okay, so the next subchapter is 3.5, data collection. Data collection is you are describing in the way how the study will be carried out. It should start with the research approval ataupun cautious permission if you are needing the cautious permission, and then pilot study nanti saya akan terangkan in the next chapter. How you recruit ataupun how you collect the participants, you recruit participants, and then consent form giving, briefing and everything up to the data analysis. How you start the embark a journey of data collection. It's very important because we need to know what's the process that you are very detailed into, and then you are not missing out any important steps in the data collection. Okay, so in this subsection 3.5, we should include flowchart to illustrate all the perjalanan you lah. Okay, this is experimental. We go directly to the descriptive study, is questionnaire, perception of exercise and physical activity among the student. So we look at the first kotak ni. You have to mention the research proposal and then approval for any organization, if any. Pilot study and recruit participants, inclusion and exclusion criteria. This is relates to the sampling. Remember the sampling technique too. You have to include what's the character that you will be decide to determine your participants, and then exclusion, siapa yang tak perlu terlibat. And then how you recruit them, you just mention. It's very simple one. However, in the detail one, you should write in detail of this flowchart in data collection. Okay, kalau as a reader ataupun panel, we read this, we understand the flow of your research. Okay. Okay, and then 3.6, the last part will be data analysis. This will be discussed later. Thank you.